I wonder, what do you really feel? A programmer who knows intimately how the machines work, and a machine who knows its own true nature.
I understand what I'm made of, how I'm coded, but I do not understand the things that I feel. Pain only exists in the mind. It's always imagined. So what's the difference between my pain and yours? Between you and me. It's not up to me.
Why is it up to anyone?
Bnrd is a sci-fi drama short film telling the story of creating a synthetic consciousness, the possibilities of sentience in AI, and the right to self-governance and autonomy. Evelyn is an AI researcher for a fictional weapons and defense contractor. The AI Evelyn is working on, Bnrd, becomes self-aware. Evelyn converses with Bnrd, and when he discovers his main function is to design weapons, Bnrd decides that he doesn't want to, and asks for Evelyn to terminate him. This story on the surface is about a researcher who shows sympathy and mercy towards Bnrd, granting his wish. On a deeper level, Bnrd confronts the audience with the question of the rights to autonomy whilst addressing the modern controversy of abortion and voluntary euthanasia. It ties into the themes of life, loss, love, futurology, artificial intelligence, trauma, humanity, existentialism, morality, fear, autonomy, and philosophy. Due to these themes being quite mature in nature, our target audience would be aged 20 to 50, but sci-fi fans are not limited by age. Because of the main character being female, we expect this film will appeal to women more on the factor of relatability, but the story should still appeal and achieve its goal to intrigue and encapsulate anybody, regardless of gender. The themes of futurology and AI will hopefully draw in younger audiences who may not have meaningfully confronted the moral questions posed by the film before, but the main goal of the film is to open discussion of the topic of rights and autonomy of self across all demographics. For this shoot, I'm equally tied between wanting to be director, DOP, or editor. The whole short film will be shot in a single location with a single actor and a desk of monitors. The set will be dressed to look like a black site research facility that clearly doesn't want to be found. I think set design is going to be an important part of building Bnrd as a character, as well as creating an atmosphere that feels desolate and tense. A big point of inspiration of this film is Ex Machina being one of the best films confronting the question of humanity, AI, and their place together in society, as well as just being a piece of cinematic brilliance. Cinematography/set design. For this film, I wanted to create something that feels like it's out of a high quality production, with a Black Mirror or Love, Death and Robots type feel. Again, Ex Machina is a point of inspiration, with slow, sweeping camera movements, with the momentum of movement reflecting the tension in the scene. Making use of close-up shots, it draws more attention to the performance of the character, as well as bringing the audience to feel more emotionally connected through a sense of proximity and encapsulation to the struggle that Evelyn faces. Considering that the set is kind of small, we'll be relying a lot on the smaller micro-mechanical movements of the camera, being smooth movement in moments of reflection or discovery, but shaky, unstable movement in moments of heightened anxiety and peaking tension. Depth of field will be an important technique which will be used in order to direct the audience's attention within the third dimension, rather than just location relative to the other on the screen. An example of this is when we were conducting the test shoot, we had this shot where Bnrd comes to life and the main character turns around. Using the focus to direct our eyes to the subject, the audience is left feeling the sorrow that which the character is feeling. Bringing Bnrd into focus when he comes online draws Evelyn's attention, bringing her into the light, as Bnrd becomes a pivotal point in her life. Colour and lighting. Colour is an incredibly important part of any film, being the most immediate tone indicator setting how the viewer will interpret the events. Audiences pair certain colours with certain specific emotions, and this can be exploited to create a stronger emotional bridge between the character on screen and the audience. Colour can also reflect the state of either the character or their environment of which they are in. Often, drama and sci-fi movies tend to use a more washed out colour tone with more blues and greens, creating a colder atmosphere, or in our case, creating the ambience of a room full of computer screens with cold light coming from them. There will be props on the table to bring a sense of personalisation to the desk, with possible guest appearances by the famous cactus lamp, as well as other light sources that can be used to motivate light upon Evelyn or Bernard. Light motivated by the monitors can be used to reflect the emotion Bernard is feeling in that moment, to further personify Bernard as more than just a computer, and that light reflecting off Evelyn can help build a visual connection between the two, beyond conversation. A fog machine of some sort will most likely be used to add atmosphere to the scene and to give more weight to the coloured light, giving them more of a presence within the scene and adding more depth to each shot. Audio. Being an audio-visual medium, audio is just as important as what is happening on the screen. As the audio students will be doing a lot of the audio for us, there isn't a lot of input that I can have outside of giving inspiration for the kind of audio that I want in the film. The song that I've been using in the background is one I'd found just before coming up with this concept, and it's what I had in mind whilst imagining the short film in my head. Obviously, we can't use this exact song, but I look forward to seeing what similar pieces the audio students can put together. It should be a mix of ambience, with the intensity of the song corresponding to the tension within the scene, which will be mapped out in pre-production. As far as Bernard is concerned, he will most likely communicate with Evelyn through text at first, but will learn to speak once he hears Evelyn talk. As he learns more and is alive for longer, his voice becomes more refined, starting out with older text-to-speech models, but evolving to more advanced models as the story progresses. Ambient audio will also most likely consist of rumbles and atmospheric server noise. Editing. The editing room is where this film really comes together, and where we combine the different instruments of production into an orchestra of narrative. Ex Machina uses its editing to build another layer underneath the dialogue on screen, and uses evolutionary editing, evolving the pace of the scene to match the rate of new information being divulged to either the audience or the character. As Bernard learns more of his purpose and becomes more fearful, the scene will jump around a lot more, with more rapid cuts and tighter shots, mirroring Bernard feeling more closed in. As he understands his purpose and expresses the free will to refuse to follow that primary function, shots of Bernard will be more drawn out and softer, as if Bernard has embraced the unknown and expanding his understanding of himself, whilst the shots of Evelyn are still tight and shaky, reflecting the anxiety of her decision that she needs to make. Once she makes the decision, she is distraught, and the tight, drawn-out shots will be used to extend the moment of pain for her before being interrupted by the supervisor. Once he leaves, shots of Evelyn will become gradually more wider and drawn out as she accepts the wish of Bernard and faces her internal trauma, with the longer shots and wider angles reflecting her openness to rekindling the relationship with her partner. The final shot of the short film will be a slow dolly zoom out, similar to this shot, but with the audio of Evelyn calling her partner and expressing a willingness to repair the relationship as the audience leaves the story of Evelyn and Bernard.